Alright, welcome to the second game of our PHLL doubleheader here on this Sunday, July 12th, 2026. Now, usually Sundays are one game, but last Sunday we had 3, today we have 2. This is a rescheduled game from the first half. So the host Minnesota Lumberjacks are wearing their birch white, which is a nice little touch. It's interesting. Interesting uniform matchup here in the second half of the season. Meanwhile, the Railers are wearing their railroad red. So, no changes on either side, aside for that, because it's a back-to-back for Minnesota, and Jonas Korpisalo played yesterday against Toronto. Georgi Romanov starts. Now, the last time Romanov played against the Railers, it was a bit of a rough night. He allowed 6 goals in a 7-6 loss on June 10th. The last time these two teams played was also in Chicago. The Railers and Lumberjacks played to a 1-1 tie. So we'll see. We've been hyped up because last time it felt like a playoff game between these two. We'll see how it goes today. Railers sitting in 4th, Lumberjacks in 2nd. Moore and Norris on the opening face-off. We are underway. Pinelli to Cizikas, now Norris. Pinelli hands it off. Cizikas will fire, and a save. He gets the rebound. He'll look, and he'll shoot. Romanov made the save. It took a deflection on the way. He caught it as it got behind him. Tippett will send it to Bongiovanni. But it came right back to him, so he'll just give it to his goalie, Romanov. He looks at his options, and he threw it straight into the corner. Pinelli hands it up Norris. He'll look, he'll shoot, a save. Rebound, hit the post! A close call for Pinelli. Tippett to the middle, Moore. Moore gives it back, it's on the line. Tippett wins it. Sends it back, Bongiovanni. Tippett. Back to Bongiovanni. He'll look, he'll shoot, miss the net. Got it back, and that's their first shot of the game on goal. Pinelli to Norris, back to Francesco, missed the net. Rebound to Cizikas. Tried to send it across, ends up with Norris. Cizikas has it, he'll leave it for his goalie Murray. It'll come back to Cizikas. He'll shoot and he scores! A minute into the game, Casey Cizikas just threw it on net. It got behind Romanov and it bounced back in, and the Railers lead it 1-0. A fast start, that's what they wanted. Not nearly as fast as the last game when New York scored 2 goals in the first 20 seconds against Boston. But here, 1 minute and 1 second, Railers leading by 1. A big opening goal. Lumberjacks are chasing. Romanov over to Tippett, now Moore. Give it back to Tippett, he'll fire, and a save is made by Murray, who gets the start for Chicago today. Matt Murray starts today and tomorrow when they play, Murray will start today, but then tomorrow when the Railers play against the Empire, we're expecting Jacob Markstrom to start. He started against Minnesota on Wednesday, and he played to a 1-1 tie. Moore will fire a stop, Bongiovanni gets the rebound in the corner. Bongiovanni will flick one, and another save by Murray. Cizikas kind of just threw it on net from long distance, and he just found its way into the net behind Georgi Romanov. Pinelli fires, stop, rebound, the second save by Romanov. Puck on the line, it's won by Chicago. Here's Norris, he shoots. Romanov made the save, he'll play it. Across to Tippett. Drop back pass, nearly went in the net. Moore will shoot, he somehow got it through the traffic, and a save was made by Murray. Cizikas plays it up to Norris. He'll shoot, save, got the rebound, and that took a deflection and went in the corner. Here's Moore. He'll wind up and shoot, save, rebound, another try denied. And shots are 8-7, 2 minutes into the game. This is going to be a fast one here today. Bongiovanni will send it over to Tippett. Flicks one on, stop, rebound, blocked. Cizikas has scored a goal and come up with a big block. Romanov now has it. He'll scan his options. He chooses Bongiovanni. Nearly bounced away. Lumberjacks have it back. Tippett will fire. And another save. Drop back. Pinelli. Up to the middle. Norris. He'll look. And he'll fire. Romanov made the stop again. Bongiovanni. Ow! What the heck? It went backwards. How in the world did it go backwards? Now Cizikas will turn and pass it back to Norris. It comes back to Cizikas. He takes a shot and a save. Cizikas has it. He'll just leaves it for his goalie Murray. Now here's Pinelli. And he scores! Francesco Pinelli wound up and blasted it past Romanov. And the Railers go up 2-0. A troubling start for the Lumberjacks, who last time they went out, the last 2 times they went out, they played the ties. They find themselves in an early 2-0 hole. And I'll tell you one thing, this Railers team is energized. They are here to stay. .207 for the first. Face off, one back to Tippett. More back to Tippett. He'll fire, denied by Matt Murray again. It's been tough to beat Murray as of late. Chicago's really found something after starting 1-5. Since then, they've gone 5-1-1. They are tough to beat. Norris, drop back. Pinelli hit the post. They get it back. Oh, and they threw it right back. Romanov, not a very smart pass. Here is a chance for Norris. That took a deflection. This time he got it through. And a save. Tippett will ring it around to Bongiovanni. He'll leave it for Romanov. Bongiovanni shoots from distance, a save, and it bounces into the net. It's not a goal. Nearly perfectly on the dot off of Cizikas, though. Railers leading by 2. Face off. Tippett controls it. And it's thrown away to Pinelli. Now up ahead to Norris, blocked. And oh, it's nearly another turnover. Now it is. Pinelli to Cizikas, bounced away. Tippett across to Bongiovanni. It came right back to him. More. Tippett. Bongiovanni. He'll fire off the bar. Now Norris has it. Now Pinelli. He'll shoot, save. Played up to Tippett. Off the wall. Now Bongiovanni. Romanov. Back to Tippett. Now it's Moore. Tippett. There's a save. Got it back. He'll try again and a second save. Throws it back to Bongiovanni. There's another save by Matt Murray. 50 seconds left in the period. Minnesota putting on some pressure. Romanov played up to Tippett. He'll look and fire. There's another save. Cizikas rings it around. Pinelli. Oh, he threw it right to Bongiovanni. To the middle, and he threw it right back to Chicago. Now Norris is blocked. Rebound, score! No time to react for Romanov. Francesco Pinelli has made it 3-0 in the first period. A really rough start now for Minnesota. Just real bad for the Lumberjacks, falling behind 3-0. 32 seconds left in the period. Pinelli has 2 of the goals. Pinelli to the middle, Norris. Now Cizikas fires, Romanov makes the stop. Now in the middle, Moore to Tippett, across to Bongiovanni. And I don't know what that was. Here's Norris. He'll look, he'll fire, that's blocked. And now it's up to Tippett. There's a save, got the rebound. Drop back, Bongiovanni, another save. 10 seconds left in the period. Chicago's going to hold to the last one. 6 seconds, now 5. Pinelli threw it right to Bongiovanni. Now across, Tippett whiffed on the first try and it stopped. And Cizikas is content with running out the clock. A disastrous period for the Lumberjacks, giving up 3 goals despite outshooting the Railers 19-15. We'll be back for the second after this. 3-0 Railers. We're back for the second period here. Chicago all over the Lumberjacks. And I reset the score. That's okay, I'll fix that in a hurry. And we'll just switch the sides. So unfortunately, because Korpisalo has played the last 2 games, including yesterday, you can't really go to him. It's a scheduled rest day for Korpisalo. So the final attendance is 17,901 for this afternoon's contest in St. Paul. Another very solid mark, not quite a shutout though, or a sellout, excuse me. Just a frustrating first period for the Minnesota Lumberjacks. I mean, you gotta find a way to get yourself back into the game, down 3. But you're from the 3-goal scored side, so maybe they'll figure something out. Face-off one to Chicago. Casey Cizikas sends it across. Pinelli, a shot, save. They get it back in behind the net. Cizikas, Chicago will just take a second, up by 3. They're comfortable right now. They threw it away. Tip it, or excuse me, that's Moore. That's an easy save. Cizikas to the middle. Norris stopped by Romanov. Up ahead to Moore. Now it's back to Wyatt Bongiovanni. Played up. Tippett has it. He'll look to shoot. Murray denies him again. Here's Cizikas. Cizikas, another save for Romanov. Rebound came back to Pinelli in the corner. Pinelli will leave it for his goalie Murray. Pinelli has it back. He'll shoot. Denied. Chicago putting on relentless pressure until Norris shot it straight out of bounds. So, okay. And of course he shot it past... Never mind, it's right there. I thought he shot it past where our barrier ended. Which I just went ahead and extended. Railers get another face-off. Cizikas having a little trouble with it along the far side boards. Now he taps it to Norris. He flicks one on a stop. Rebound, a second save by Romanov. Cizikas has it. He'll send it across, but Murray cuts it off. Norris, now to Pinelli. He shoots. It's 4-0. In and out. Francesco Pinelli has the hat trick just 6 minutes and 6 seconds into this game. It's just the day of one-sided games, isn't it? And I think the officials are going to want to take a look at this one. Yep, there it is. There's the call. And we will be having a video review. Did this actually go in or was it deceiving? It sounded like it was in. So yeah, we'll be back. Alright, so after video review, there was not enough conclusive evidence, so therefore the call on the ice stands. It's a good goal. Additionally, Dean Evison has gone to his bench. He was not going to play Korpisalo today. But at this point, it's 4-0. Chicago has all the momentum. And today was just not Georgi Romanov's day. So Korpisalo will come in. And my bet is that Romanov will start on Tuesday. It was a difficult decision for Dean. If Minnesota had gotten the next goal, he probably would have left in Romanov, but they didn't. So it's now 4-0 after a long video review. And my goodness, talk about a one-sided affair. Back to Norris. He fires. Korpisalo makes his first save of the day. Here is Matt Murray. Sends it over to Pinelli. He fires, and he made the save. I know it's surprising because Minnesota's just had a really, really tough afternoon thus far. Chicago wins another draw. Sent across Cizikas to Norris. Back to Cizikas. He'll look, he'll fire. There's another save. This building is quiet. 17,901 fans. It is quiet. Bongiovanni swings it to Moore. Back to Bongiovanni. He'll shoot over the net. And it comes back into play, and now it's turned over. Drop back, tip it, miss the net entirely. Cizikas across to Pinelli. He'll look. He'll shoot, blocked by Oliver Moore, who now has the puck. He'll turn and shoot. That took a deflection off of Norris. Murray settled it down. Here's Cizikas. He'll look and shoot, a save. Korpisalo scans his options, gets it up to Moore. He'll fire, blocked, gets it back, and there's another save. Norris to Pinelli. Across Cizikas. It comes back to Norris. There's a save. Rebound. A second save by Korpisalo. Chicago's just relentless right now. Pass up to Moore, and he missed him. Cizikas will take it in behind the net, and Chicago will reset structurally, and they're going to take their time. Comfortably leading 4-0. Pinelli to Norris. He'll make a move and fire another save. All I can really say is I think this game is over. Because we're halfway through. Minnesota has generated nothing. And they are now being outshot in this game. Chicago has 14 shots right now to Minnesota's 3. Or excuse me, they have 14 to Minnesota's 3 in the period. Cizikas fires another save. Minnesota has it. They play it up. Bongiovanni up ahead to Moore. He shoots, blocked, rebound. This time got it through and a save. Bongiovanni plays it to Moore. Now it's back to Wyatt. Korpisalo. Across, shot blocked by Norris. Pinelli to Norris, back to Pinelli. He fires, it's 5-0. This is really getting embarrassing. 4 goals for Francesco Pinelli. Nothing at 8 minutes and 4 seconds into the game. It is a one-sided affair here in St. Paul. I believe coming into this game, Minnesota had only 2 losses at home. And those were both 2-1 OT losses. But today they are getting thwarted by Chicago, who is going to pass New York and will just be 2 points behind them in the standings unless something dramatic happens later in the period. Here's Bongiovanni. He'll fire and another save by Murray. He'll pass up to Norris. It's back to Cizikas. He'll fire and another stop. Now it's a drop back to Tippett. Tippett up ahead, threw it away. Pinelli to Norris, but it bounced away for a moment. Pinelli's got it under control. Norris fires, knocked away. They're saying it was going high, so no shot on goal. A line battle went to Chicago. Cizikas up to Norris. He'll look and shoot, another save. And now it's thrown away again. Norris, Cizikas, Norris has it. He'll fire a wrister and a stop. Pinelli has the rebound. Norris, back to Pinelli. He'll try another one. He already has 4 goals in the game. Pass up to Moore. Drop back, missed Tippett. And he'll send it around to the near side. Bongiovanni threw it away again. Now it's tipping the line. Minnesota wins the puck. Moore a shot, easy save. Minnesota with just 6 shots in the period while Chicago has 20. And it's 5-0. Bongiovanni gets the draw set up. Another turnover. This is really getting ugly. Murray to Cizikas. He'll fire, and it's another goal. It slides through the 5-hole on Jonas Korpisalo. It is 6-0 Railers with 49 seconds left in the second period. This is absolutely unbelievable. There is no reason for a blowout like this one. Minnesota having a really bad night, and it doesn't seem to matter who they put in net. The draw is won by the Lumberjacks. They threw it away off the post. Norris back to Pinelli. He'll shoot a save by Korpisalo. Played up to Norris. Another save. Rebound. 2 saves. My goodness, they are relentless. Moore across. Tippett denied again. Norris drops it back. Cizikas, another save. And they're saying still in play. Cizikas has it. To the middle. Norris. There's another stop. Drop back. Tip it across to Bongiovanni. Blocked. Got it back and another save. Matt Murray has been sharp while it doesn't seem to matter who Minnesota has in the net. Chicago gonna hold to the last one. Pinelli back to Cizikas. He'll shoot off the bar. That really tells you all you need to know. That was another close call. But everything is working for Chicago while Minnesota is just ice cold. They win another face-off. Norris shoots a save. Rebound Pinelli. Fires on a second save. And the Boo Birds are out in St. Paul. 6-0. The shots in the period were 28-8. And the Railers lead by 6. Going into the third, I could see some substitutions happening. So we had a bit of a longer intermission because both teams have submitted lineup changes for the third period. Both sides have emptied their bench. Minnesota at left wing, it's Brendan Gallagher. At right wing, Jarrett Anderson-Dolan. And at center, Mason Appleton. Jonas Korpisalo will stay in the net. Meanwhile, for Chicago, it'll still be Matt Murray. While at left wing, it's one of their deadline acquisitions, Bobby Brink. And their other deadline guy, Scott Laughton, is at center. While they put in Mark Jankowski at right wing, his first action of the year. So, both sides are going to rest their starters for the rest of this game because the outcome is already known. And we'll see what happens. Gallagher hits the post. Former Railer, by the way. Jankowski is shot, save, rebound, another save. Now in the middle, the Railers have it. Jankowski up to Laughton. He'll fire on another save. Here's Anderson Dolan, sends it up to Appleton. Now to Gallagher. He shoots a stop again by Murray, and it bounces into the net. So it's not a goal. I think Minnesota is tired. They played a long one last night. Meanwhile, the Railers are conserving their starters as much as possible because they play tomorrow against New York, who was also in a blowout game, but they did not rest their starters. Anderson Dolan a shot and another save by Murray. Sent across to Jankowski. Tried to send it to Laughton. Now Brink has it. Here's Laughton. He fires. That took a deflection. Sent up, another turnover. Here's Laughton. He'll shoot, stopped again. The rebound comes to Jankowski. A second save. Jankowski will send it across to Bobby Brink. Now to Laughton. Back to Brink. He shoots, a save again by Korpisalo. Across, Jankowski. Sends it up. It's another turnover. Gallagher plays it up to Appleton. He shoots off the bar. Close call for the former Royal. Then they threw it away. Anderson Dolan is denied. By the way, that is finally Minnesota's 30th shot of the game. They had 8 shots in the second period, and Chicago just ran it up. It is 6-0 here, a minute into the third. Anderson Dolan sends it. It's a turnover. Down to the middle, Laughton. Back to Jankowski. He missed the net. Now Gallagher tried to play it up. And now that he tried to get it to Anderson Dolan, but Appleton was in the way. He'll shoot another save by Matt Murray. It was 3-0 after the first, and I kind of knew it was over after that. Well, once they made it, 3-0, I was like, okay, maybe if they get the next one. But then then it became 4-0. Then it became 5-0. Maybe they'll get one late to just get away from the shutout here. Jankowski is denied. I think if Minnesota can just avoid the shutout, it'll be a victory. The draw is 1. Brink to the middle, Laughton. Back to Brink. He'll shoot. There's another save. They got the rebound, and it bounced back into the net. No goal. I'll tell you one thing. Korpisalo is not too happy with Brink right now. He's saying stuff like, you're up 6. Stop with the immediate rebounds. I think Chicago wants to run this up as much as possible. Sent across to Jankowski. Tried to give it back to his goalie Murray, but it bounced over to Brink. Here's Laughton. He'll shoot, hit the post. They'll send it across, Gallagher, Appleton. Now Gallagher shoots another save by Matt Murray. It's hard to blame the Lumberjacks for being frustrated, but at some point, you don't want to let that boil over. Because you don't play tomorrow. You have the night off. Here's Brink. He shot it off the post. Stays in play. Anderson Dolan. Now to Brendan Gallagher. Back to Anderson Dolan. He shoots on. Murray made the stop. Now to the middle. Laughton to Jankowski. He scores. It is 7-0 Chicago. Korpisalo did not even try. Mark Jankowski has his first goal in the PHLL. Minnesota needs to not let this boil over because they get tomorrow off and then they have a back-to-back. They have Montreal on the road on Tuesday, and then they come back home to face New York, who is off of a 5-1 win against Boston. And they play these same Railers tomorrow, so the Empire do, that is. Anderson Dolan, back to Appleton, and a shot, save, rebound, another save. Anderson Dolan across to Gallagher. He'll fire another stop. They'll face it off. Jankowski and Gallagher. Face-off goes in behind Murray. Plays it out to Jankowski. Then over to Brink. Now to the middle, Lawton. Back to Brink. Here's Lawton again. He'll shoot a save. Now into the middle, Appleton. Back to Gallagher. Now Appleton turnover. In the middle, a shot, a save, and out of bounds with 2:02 to go. All in all, it's been a rough one for the Lumberjacks to swallow here, being down by 7. If they can just get one and avoid the shutout, they'll call it a victory. Anderson Dolan fires another save. I don't even know if that's going to happen. They're trying everything to get a goal up. Jankowski in the corner, threw it right away. Here's Appleton. He'll look and shoot. That took a deflection. Here's Brink. Up to Lawton, threw it away actually. And then a shot by Gallagher, missed in tight. Rebound, over to Gallagher. He'll try again on a wrister and another save. Chicago under 2 minutes. They're going to go into a full time kill. Just try and skate away with a win without any trouble. Here's Brink, a shot on. A stop is made. Here's Anderson Dolan, another save, rebound. Korpisalo has it. Played up ahead. Anderson Dolan, another save. Gallagher will throw it on, and that was not even close. And I think Chicago is just going to wind the time down at this point. There's a miss. Chicago gets it right back. They'll pass it around some more and just try to finish off this game. Here's Lawton. That's knocked away by Korpisalo. There's another save by Murray. Down to 40 seconds. Can Minnesota get one and avoid the shutout? That one took a deflection. Gallagher will give it back to his goalie, and then they throw it away. I mean, this is just sad to see for the Lumberjacks. Meanwhile, for Chicago, this is their best win of the year. Brink fires on, another stop. They'll play it up, and a shot by Gallagher and a save, rebound, another save. And that was probably their last chance to get anything on the board. In what has turned into the biggest blowout of the season, the Lumberjacks get the draw. They'll get one more chance. Anderson Dolan fires on, nothing doing. And Chicago will run it out. And that's the end of the game. An absolute demolition of the Lumberjacks. The Railers win this one on the road 7-0. Everybody put in the backups, and Minnesota just skated off the ice in a hurry. An embarrassment to the entire Twin Cities area, as the Lumberjacks now have not won since July 7th. Since then, they have tied 1-1 against Chicago, tied 3-3 against Toronto, and now lost 7-0 in the biggest blowout of the season to the Chicago Railers. Mark Jankowski sees his first on-ice action of the season and gets a goal. Meanwhile, the deadline acquisitions didn't do anything. Final score, Railers 7, Lumberjacks 0. Thanks for watching. That was a blowout, man.